everyone. Today we are going to present on topic IT trends. The IT world never stands still. This rapid, ever-changing industry is full of new technologies, tools, software frameworks, and innovative ideas. Did you know that 75% of the businesses will leverage digital transforms and ecosystem by 2025? Top technologies attracting the attention and funds of investors and technologists. They are also the ones most likely to feature prominently in the changing face of the modern workplace. Here is the list of top IT trends that will shape the digital world in the coming years. Now let's move on to augmented reality and virtual reality. AR adds digital elements to a live view often by using the camera on a smartphone. Example of augmented reality experience includes Snapchat lenses and the game Pokemon Go. VR is the use of computer technology to create a stimulated environment which can be explored in 360 degrees. In other words, virtual reality is a stimulated 3D environment that enables users to explore, interact with the virtual surroundings in a way that approximates reality as it is perceived through the user's senses. For example, VR goggles and VR headphones. Further, I will discuss about second trend, cloud computing. So, cloud computing provides store and process data in a location that's separate from end users. Cloud computing technology gives user access to storage, files, software and servers through their internet connected devices like computers, smartphones and tablets. Now Vipul will explain you about artificial intelligence and robotic process automation.
Thank you, Akriti. When we talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, they have become an indispensable part of our daily lives, and they start playing their role early in the morning when we wake up, and the first thing we do is to check our Instagram or Facebook on our mobiles. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is much more than just a social media platform or any other device that we are holding in our hands. It's about improving efficiency, predicting and avoiding errors, anticipating future scenarios, reducing human errors, automating the processes. So many industries like manufacturing, healthcare, education, financial institutions, retail stores are using artificial intelligence and machine learning in their day-to-day operations. Next slide. Now, coming next to robotics process automation. Robotics process automation is probably one of the revolutionary trends in the history of mankind, where the technology based on metaphorical software robotics or artificial intelligence is working at every level around in this world. It is also called as the software robotics. Robotics process automation must not be confused with physical robots or Autobots like it was shown in the movie Terminator. It is more of computer coded softwares. It is not just physical machines, but it is a cross functional set of macros which are working behind the scenes and not visible to the eyes. Now I request Varleen to take it forward.
Thanks, Vipul. So, the Internet of Things or IoT, this describes the network of physical objects that are embedded with sensors, software, and other technologies to connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the Internet. So, whether it's smart temperature controls for a house, health tracker devices, or sensors in our vehicles, or monitoring traffic in our cities, IoT is actually designed to optimize everyday life and help the world run more smoothly. Moving forward, in today's businesses, actually, the increased amount of data collected from sensors and the IoT devices is changing how business handle computing. So to handle data latency issues, edge computing is being adapted in which rather than actually transmitting raw data to a central data center for processing and analysis, computing is performed where the data is actually generated. that is at the edge of retail stores, a factory floor, or across a smart city. So the next slides will be covered by Abhishek.
Thank you, Varleen. So when we talk about quantum computing, so this is a rapidly emerging technology which operates on the laws of quantum mechanics. So these are operating on qubits. These computers are being designed to tackle the problems which were previously not were handled by classical supercomputers. Now, when we talk about 5G, so it's the fifth generation of wireless technology. This enables faster, more stable, and more secure connected environment. Now, Manju will take it to the next slide.
Thank you, Abhishek. So the next trend here is the blockchain architecture. So basically, blockchain is a encrypted database model that resolve major web issues that are concerned with the data security. So it is a kind of open source software that is used to improve the integrity of the system that has been shared by multiple users at the same time. So business organizations and industries are opting this trend for eliminating friction and building trust so that they can add more value to their business and to the experiences of their customers. So almost every industry is implementing the blockchain, and the biggest example is the Walmart, that is a global chain basically, and they are using to blockchain architecture to making more efficient supply chain management for their business. So next RE trend is zero trust architecture. In this age of digitalization, many organizations are having a motto that never trust, always verify. So this is the reason that cybersecurity has taken its most advanced form right now, and that is known as zero trust architecture. So the biggest feature of zero trust architecture is multi-factor authentication. So it is a kind of it grants least privilege access, and it permits access to any system after a deep thorough verification. So based on all these features, it enables and provides a full proof security to the system and the data of the businesses. So that is the reason it's a, in the that is the reason the Google is using for many years this zero trust architecture for their data security. And now so now we will talk about after discussing all the RE trends, we are going to talk about the most prominent RE trends that after the deep studies and research, our team reached to a conclusion that AI and machine learning could altogether be the most prominent trend, which is going to dominate the future as well, because AI and machine learning is powering the future, and altogether in this AI and machine learning is industries are becoming more and more advanced by day by implementing AI and machine learning. So AI and machine learning all together are going to take the form of virtualization, which are going to provide a platform to all the businesses to another world. Like for example, Nike has bought a place for themselves in metaverse that is known as Nikeland, where they are selling and exhibiting their latest products, and even the customers in their avatars, they are buying products and they are having a like real life shopping experience. So now it comes to estimate the budget for including these ID trends in the businesses. So we can't estimate that what trend, which trend is going to take how much part of IT budget for any organization. But for we can roughly estimate that if any organization is planning to include these latest digital trends to their businesses, so in nearly, for example, we can take the example that AI is going to cost the healthcare department nearly $1 million. That is the minimum budget, and it will depend upon the kind of technology they want to use to improve their healthcare services. They have to increase their budget. So there is no limitation of budget in budget terms. So it depends upon the kind of technology, but still, if but still it will depend upon the kind of service and depend upon the department they want to include the technology. They have to arrange a kind of budget according to that. Now I would like to invite Verleen for with the portal model.
Thanks, Manju. Um, on the next slide, please. Thanks. So, it is very important to understand how the tools of Industry 4.0 is actually impacting the corporate value chain. So, through Porter's value chain analysis, it can be seen that the effects of most of the technologies span over functional boundaries and affect the entire value creating process of the company itself. So, various tools like RFID, sensors, robotics, machine learning can help in the effective handling of inbound and outbound logistics activities with reduced manual errors and increased efficiency. So, overall, assessing real time data at different points also had a positive effect on strategy, finance, and process design. So, through vertical and horizontal flow of the data generated in each primary business area is also available to other supporting areas. So, which provides information, transparency, which is essential for making strategic decision. For instance, like for marketing and sales team can access the real-time data of inventory through edge computing to make more effective decisions. So these tools actually contribute to system-based and process-oriented thinking, and the integration process within the organization, and then beyond organization boundaries. So it also helps in increasing the agility, adaptability, and alignment of companies cooperating in a network of value chains to gain a competitive advantage. I would like to hand over it to Vipul to continue with your further slides.
Thank you, Varleen. Now we will discuss further about the enterprise design pyramid. When we talk about enterprise design pyramid, we start with the business model coming up to the hardware and software requirements and the technologies involved. Next. So we talk about a sector which can embed all the IT trends into one would be a healthcare industry. When we were trying to find industries, we found healthcare industry involves all the IT trends these days, all the top 10 trends that we have discussed. So when we talk about the business model of a healthcare industry, it starts from a pre-service, which involves collecting the client, the patient's data, verifying the data, validating the medical necessities, advancing beneficiary notices, registration, etc. Switching over to the service delivery, which involves actual treatment being imparted to the patients, including the robotic surgeries and diagnostics and testings and clinical care, and then coming up to the post service, which starts after the patient is discharged from the hospital, which includes coding, validating the demographic data, claim processing, payments processing, financial reporting and analytics, etc. So if we talk about next in the next slides, we will talk about how these 10 trends have been contributing into the healthcare industry. If we talk about AI and ML, so it's performing its role through precision oncology, drug discovery, imaging and digital pathology, next generation sequencing, patient data management. RPA is playing its role by surgical robotics, vital sign monitoring, tele-remote medicine, lifting assistance, pharma bots. IoT is playing its role by medication intake tracking, remote health monitoring, drug tracking, drug tracking, medical inventory and equipment tracking. Edge computing is playing its role through suggestions for health improvements, e-health records, sensor analysis. Then 5G proliferation is used in telemedicine, connected ambulances, remote surgeries. Blockchain is used in electronic health records, remote patient monitoring, patient data management, direct service payment. Zero trust architecture is one of the most vital aspects in healthcare industry because it's all about keeping the patient data confidential. So it helps in securing the patient private privacy, forming P2P architecture, establishing NSE. Virtual reality and AR is used in medical training, psychological therapy, dentistry, VR for children. Cloud computing is used in fastening the paramedical response in emergencies, improving the data analysis, real-time tracking of patients' health data, and maintaining electronic health records. Now I'll request my teammate to take it forward from here.
Thank you, Vipul. So, as we have talked about all the IT trends and how these are reforming and reshaping the business world these days, so we can, as it is aptly said by Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, there is no alternative to digital transformation, and visionary companies will implement such IT trends. Otherwise, they will fall. So, every industry is almost right now. Presently, they are investing a large proportion of its annual budget in the IT sector to revolutionize its approach towards tech world. And this collaboration with technology is adding value and value to other business, and they are earning huge profits, and even they are getting the trust of their customers. So, as we talked about in the previous slide, where of the cost estimation, so such investments are really huge for any size of business industry, whether they are large business industries or small or medium business industry. But these investments are worth investing if there will be a perfect collaboration between the technological strategy and the business strategy. Only this combination could create miracle to the business world by implementing these ID trends in the business. Thank you so much, and we are open to the questions.